Good afternoon. How's everybody doing? Good, good. I guess, yeah, it is afternoon, just by a few minutes. So today I'm going to be talking about a subject matter that's really kind of fun and important to me, and that's what's next in tech, what's next in technology. My name is Blaine Brown. I'm Director of Technology for Sensory Technologies, and I oversee research and development. So I would argue the coolest job in the company because I get to play with all the new stuff. So today we're going to talk about a few different topics. We're going to look into what's coming next with video conferencing, what's coming next with display technology, and then kind of a last category of kind of all the other cool stuff that's happening right now. So when I say future technologies and the year 2015, what comes to mind? Anybody? That's right, Back to the Future. So I thought it was appropriate to have a little Back to the Future theme here because for those that don't know or might not remember, in the year 1985, Back to the Future, Marty McFly travels into the future 30 years into the year 2015, October 21st, 2015 to be exact. And they make all these predictions about what is coming and what's to come. And as a 10-year-old kid, my eyes were real wide open, and I couldn't wait to see what that was. So I'm going to kind of show you a few predictions, some of them right, some of them wrong, and then correlate those into some of the technology that we can expect this year and future years to come. So let's get started. So the first prediction, flying cars. This is, some might argue, well, there are flying cars because you have this sort of thing, but it still uses wings and doesn't hover, so I'm not going to count that. The next one would be hoverboards, and some might say, well, there's these magnetic things that require a copper floor in order to hover, but I'm going to say that's still a fail because it's not nearly as cool as the original hoverboard. Next prediction, video conferencing. We've had this a while. Future Marty is in his house and he's doing interactive video with a guy from work, and he ends up getting in trouble and things. But so this is actually a prediction that came true. And in regards to video conferencing, what's coming next? I apologize, the slides kind of covered up a little bit there by the picture-in-picture because we're recording this. But some of the technologies we're looking at that are coming next with video conferencing. What you can't see there is there's the top topic is DVR-like functionality. So, there's with video conferencing technology, there's the ability to record. What we see coming is having it more like a DVR. So it's recording or buffering essentially everything that's happening. You could be multiple sessions on a video bridge. Everything's getting recorded at once. And then after the session or after your meeting, you'll be able to say, okay, I want to keep that, or I want to discard that. Another technology that's actually here now and you're just going to see proliferated and used more and more is WebRTC. And that's a technology that's built into browsers. It's starting to get more adoption. It's built into Google Chrome, Firefox, Internet Explorer's on the way of implementing that as well. And it's a technology that allows you to do real-time video collaboration from your web browser without installing anything. So you don't need to install a plugin. You don't need Flash Player installed. It's not like WebEx where you got to download the software and have administrative rights. It just works. And video technology is moving to this because it's platform agnostic. It doesn't matter what device you're on, or whether it's a portable device or a laptop, and it just makes things so much easier because it takes away a lot of the barriers for doing video conferencing. And the last piece where we're seeing a lot of growth, and I think we'll see a lot of growth going in 2015 and 2016, is wearables. Now, there's a lot of, when we talk about wearables, here's a prediction. There's Marty Jr., I think, and they're predicting that he's going to wear this thing on his face and be updated with technology. And to some degree, this was an accurate prediction. So when you think about wearables, though, there's a lot of different things that might come to mind. Some of these things might not come to mind, such as smart socks. There's actually socks you can wear that tie to your phone. There's smart shirts that take your heart rate and how your exercise level There's even smart bras. And but what you probably think about more is smart watches, fitness bands, and then smart glasses. Like the Google Glass, things like that. And I'm going to be talking about what we call point of view conferencing, which is something that. Let me go back here. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to advance that fast. Ooh. So, all right, so smart glasses. We kind of coined the term point of view conferencing because we tie these smart glasses in using technologies like WebRTC into our video platform. And it allows for an end user to be fully interactive off-site, communicating with a emergency operations center or a video knock or some sort of help desk. And the applications we see are a field technician might go out on site, need to repair something, and they need to be able to show the person helping them, the support person, what they're looking at. And so it has a front-facing 1080p camera. You might have seen some of our guys walking around with this thing on. And we think that's, moving forward in 2015, that's going to be a very popular technology. Whether or not people will be walking around with Google Glass on from a consumer perspective, all day long, that's kind of up for debate. But we see this being a pretty popular application. And there's a lot of folks doing this. You've got your Google Glass, which coincidentally just a few days ago announced that they're going to stop production temporarily while they move from an experimental technology to an actual technology that they can sell. You got the Vuzix, which is what we've got over in our booth. A few more, you can't really see it, but that's a Sony attached system and a few others here. So there's a lot of players getting into this game. Next prediction that was made in Back to the Future was to have these large wall-mounted flat displays, which was unheard of at the time, and obviously that has come true. So let's talk a little bit about the displays technology and where things are going from a display technology standpoint. Obviously you've heard of 4K, possibly you've heard of 8K. There was a lot of 8K displays shown at CES this year, as well as, there's still some 3D talk and virtual reality and things like that. So as far as 4K and 8K go, there's some breakdowns of some of the resolutions. As you can see, like 8K is actually 16 times 1080p, which is extremely high resolution. That has a lot of benefits because there's so many pixels on the screen, but it has some, not really downsides, but you have to be kind of aware of the environment this is going in because that can only be so beneficial because of your visual acuity. So if I pull up this chart here, not to get too technical, you'll see that this 4K, the full benefit, in order for the eyeball, the human eye, to see the benefit of 4K, you see this doesn't ramp up very high. So you've got the actual screen size here, and then you've got the distance you are from the screen going that way. So if you looked at like a 90-inch 4K display, you need to be about 5 feet from that display in order for it to really visually, you'd be able to see the benefit from that. So, while things will move to 4K and 8K and boardrooms will probably adopt that technology, the end user isn't really going to benefit from that quality unless they're standing really close to it. So what that brings us to is, what's the real benefit of 4K and 8K displays, obviously for entertainment, medical imaging, things like that. But where we see a real big benefit will be large multi-touch displays because these are, you're going to be going up, interacting with these. Your face is going to be a foot, maybe a foot and a half from the screen. So having all those pixels and all that detail on the screen is going to be very valuable. You'll be able to see highly detailed information. Another one that a lot of people have dismissed is 3D just because nobody wants to wear glasses. There's actually been some recent developments with glasses-free 3D that has really made the technology come a long way. There's 4K and 8K glasses-free technology where you can just stand in front of a display and without any glasses on, it's able to kind of target both your eyeballs and send a different image to each one. And where we see this kind of taking off is with digital signage applications. You imagine you have a 3D display that doesn't require any sort of glasses. Somebody walks by and, something pops out at them. Maybe a shark pops out, like in the Back to the Future movie or something. And potentially, someday we might have 3D video conferencing because, once you get to the point where everybody in the room is not wearing glasses, Now you just need 3D cameras and a way of transmitting that. And now it'll look like you're looking into another room. You'll have depth. You'll be able to see, there'll be a difference between the people sitting in the back and the sitting in the front and things like that. Other display technologies that are pretty recent announcements is, Sharp announced some what they're calling Sharp any shape displays, which round display is pretty basic, but they can, I guess, manufacture these things in all kinds of shapes and sizes. So up until now, that was really difficult to do. And then there's also kind of a new cable standard called Super MHL, and it supports 8K at 128 frames a second, just something to keep in mind. Now we talk about other technologies. So these are some other technologies that have recently been announced, and you might just want to have in the back of your mind as you're thinking about way to integrate different things into whether it's your classrooms or boardrooms. And one in particular is beacon technology. You might have heard this, things like iBeacon. This iBeacon technology utilizes Bluetooth Low Energy for proximity. So when you're near one of these beacons, it can trigger a push notification on your phone, or it can, if you're in a store or a retail environment and I'm standing near this MacBook, it knows I'm standing near this MacBook, so my phone can give me information about that. You can also use beacons and digital signage to push notifications to people when they're standing in front of the sign based on what they're looking at. You can also use beacon technology to kind of form a grid of a building if you wanted to send wayfinding information to someone's phone. So like GPS works outside when you're outside. When you're inside, GPS doesn't work. Your phone doesn't know where you are. But with this beacon technology, your phone can know where you are and give you an accurate spot on your device as you're walking around. And one other application would be, coupling beacon technology with things like NFC, near field communication. And what that's going to allow us to do is make really smart classrooms and boardrooms, executive conference rooms, where when a user walks in, it's going to know who they are based on just the device in their pocket. So it can configure the room based on the executive versus the techie guy that walks in there, and make the user interface on the wall adapt to that person who might be near it. You might have heard of Internet of Things. This is still a thing. This is just basically putting technology and chips and making devices that normally wouldn't be internet capable, making them internet capable, making devices be able to talk to other devices as well as the cloud and to your apps. So we're just going to see more and more things that have smart technology in them. Another recent one is USB 3.1. That doesn't sound very exciting, but it's actually a pretty big jump in the USB technology. It's going to allow you to do video, high-speed data, and power over a single connector. So if you can imagine, if my computer here had that technology, one cable could do video to my monitor, could power my computer, and transmit high-speed data between all the devices. So that would really clean up, cable clutter, things like that. You may have seen this announced. This is the Intel Compute Stick. This is their answer to like the Amazon Fire Stick and Google Chromecast, things like that. It's a very small device that actually fits an entire Windows 8.1 computer on a small device that's HDMI, plugs into your monitor. So applications would be, digital signage, maybe video conferencing, dedicated in-room PCs, things like that, where you need a small, cheap, $149 computer, and you don't want to take up a whole lot of real estate. So this is one of the first ones that actually will run a full Windows operating system to allow you to run all your applications and things like that. Another cool one is wireless charging. So up until this point, wireless charging was kind of, you would have a mat right on your desk, and your device, if it was compatible, you could set it on that mat and it would charge your device. There's a few competing technologies that are out that are launching this year that allow you to be 15 feet away from that device. And I'm told, they promise you that it won't melt your brain, so that's positive. It's kind of like a router, so it sees your device, it communicates with all the devices in the room, it knows which devices are capable of being charged, and then it will charge those devices at different rates depending on what their power requirements are. So very powerful. You can imagine this being in some sort of smart classroom or something like that, where you don't want to have to be plugged in all the time, but you want to keep a charge on your device. So this will be a really cool technology to keep your eye on. Next is something we call decorating. So this is where you take technology and you decorate. You use screens, various sizes. It's almost like artwork, right? So instead of just doing a static sign in your lobby, you can have full motion video on a completely customized layout. So here's just a few examples. Spent about 10 seconds looking at this video just to give you some ideas of different ways to use this type of technology. You can have screens in front of other screens. It really doesn't matter. There's a video wall processor in the back end that's running this and allowing the displays to be seamless like that. Another decorating idea that a lot of folks are doing is with a mesh product, where you can have this mesh on the outside of your building and create a large digital sign, kind of like a big LED advertisement board, but it allows sunlight to come through it. So you can put these on windows. You can have video, things like that, very visible during the day and the night, but you're not blocking sunlight coming into your building. And e-ink. So you probably heard of e-ink. It's that e-paper technology that Amazon uses on their real lightweight Kindle device. It's not backlit, but you can produce images. And so decorating, you're going to start seeing that incorporated into decorating, where it's almost like artwork on the wall. So you can turn this into this, or you can take it all the way and turn it into that. Pretty cool technology. And then just to finish up here, there is one last prediction that was made in Back to the Future that I wanted to cover. And they predicted that you would have a fax machine in every room in your house. And thank goodness that didn't come true. And thank you for your time.